what I can see, what I can also say about the last year is that on the demand side, what we saw also is a strong demand end of 2020, strong demand still in the first quarter of this year. But starting from second quarter, we started to see some infrastructure projects that started to be delayed because of the high prices. So basically people hoping to see lower prices if they can delay their projects. And that's in our region. From the export perspective, we had strong demand for our products on the exports, and this year we'll be increasing the export tonnage we are doing. Of course, on the high value products, the galvanized and pre-painted, we always run our mill at the maximum of its capacity, and this is of course filled with both the local and the exports. And this year we also started exporting HRC to mainly to nearby countries. So as I said, we are starting to see more aggressive offers in the last few weeks. This is also driven by the fact that demand from the automotive industry is still low. So we think that this trend could continue for a few more months. And maybe another event that we had in the last year is news about, well, of course, all the decarbonization theme that is now the subject number one in the industry and mainly in Europe. And with also we had rumors about or news about Europe thinking about limiting its exports of scrap.
According to the World Steel Association's data, world steel production in October decreased by 10.6%, and China played a decisive role in the decline in the world production, steel production. In October, China's production decreased to 71.6 billion tons. In January-October period, world steel production reached to 1,607 million tons, with an increase of 5.9%. Excluding China, world production increased by 6.4% in October. In the first 10 months of the year, again excluding China, the increase in world steel production reaches to 15%. Nearly 4 years later, China was the first to pull world steel production down. In October, China's share in the world steel production fell below 50%, amounting 49.1%. In the first months of the pandemic, China's share of world steel production had reached to 62.5%. Sorry. When we look at production amount of top 10 steel producing countries, only China and Iran decreased, and while all of the others increased their production in first 10 months of the year. In January-October period, among top 10 steel manufacturing countries, the highest production was seen in India, and then United States, Brazil, and Japan. Germany's production has been increased by 15.1%, and Turkey's production increased by 14.2%.
I am managing Latin America, excluding Mexico, Central America and South America. That is my main market. And our sales to Latin America is around 500,000 tons of steel that we export. I would like to show this slide because we can have an idea that 25 years ago in Latin America, nobody listened about China. And since, let's say, 10 years back, China is the leader in Latin America. For sure, they are the largest exporter of steel, not only in the world, but the focus in Latin America, because it's the main market for them in coated steels like galvanized, galvalume, and pre-painted. And besides steel, LICO also is exporting fertilizer. As you know, Brazil is the largest producer of agriculture products, and we are in the fertilizer business too. So our fertilizer business is growing as well. So talking about the, let's see here, the China, because China is our main supplier. Basically, we buy 80% of the steel from China and 20% from overseas. Overseas is South Korea, Ukraine, Russia, Japan, and also US. So US is an important exporter, but the quantity that we are exporting to Latin America now is very low because of the price. It's very expensive. And in Latin America, they don't buy expensive steels. So in this slide, we can see that the peak of the steel production in China was between 2012 and 2015, more than 1 billion tons. And for sure, China will still, in the next year.
Yeah, well, of course, I think that well, North Africa, of course, is a smaller region in the worldwide dynamics. So I think the price dynamics are more dependent on what happens worldwide. But for sure, I think flats is more volatile than long. And the reason is probably because you have much more, and the number of products is higher. So you have to produce for specific orders, and each client has specific needs. So this makes it a bit more difficult for both sides to adjust to each other. So supply needs more time to adjust to demand. When demand comes in a non-expected way, supply struggles to follow. And on the other side, when demand disappears, supply has more trouble adjusting to offer compared. Supply has more it's more difficult for supply to adjust to demand. This is of course compared to longs.
I think that the next year will not be a bad year for Brazil. Also, will not be a bad year for the economy, because it's the first time that Brazil has a president from the right side, and most of the media in Brazil, they are from the left side. So it's normal that they are saying bad things about the economy because they don't want this president again. It's like Trump in US, the same situation. I can say, because I'm not American, so I can say about US, okay? But for example, talking about US, the situation for my company is good because we are a traditional distributor. I am from the trading division, but my company has 3 divisions. We have the energy, the distribution, and the trading. I am from the trading. So the other 2 are going very well because we have traditional customers. We are a long time in the market. And that's the reason I think next year also will be a good year for LICO in US.
This is mostly related with the huge increase in demand of household industry and radiator industries. The increase of these 2 industries in Turkey and in global scale, there was a huge demand. That's why there were a big shortage in cold rolled steel. That's why we had sometimes, it took, I think, 6 to 8 months during